Hello and welcome back to round 2 back 9 coverage of JomezPro's MPO lead card coverage of the 2024 Music City Open presented by Lone Star Disc. BigBarri commentary bringing you the second half action of this wonderful tournament here in Antioch, Tennessee. It's been a windy day. It's been a tough day.
Yeah, and they're all trying to track down that Simon Lizotte character who is making some long putts, but he is struggling a little bit of making everything today.
Struggling to not birdie everything.
Yesterday, that was not part of the issue. Today, 4 under, solid and respectable front 9. We got Paul McBeth at 3 under, and we got a little red here and there on the cards below, or on the players below him. We have some hot rounds coming in. And honestly, these guys are going to have to pick it up on the back 9. You know, hot scores are going to come in.
Moving day, man. It happens every single tournament. Heading on to hole 10 here. 783-foot par 4. The closer to the water, the better you have an angle for this forehand hyzer. But it's a little scary because all OB shots go to the drop zone. So most of these players are going to just be playing the big, high, booming hyzer. And from there, we saw Simon go the backdoor backhand route in round 1, but it really just depends on where you land. We're going to see Jacob Heemenheimer. He threw a towering forehand here yesterday. He's doing the same thing again in round 2.
That's a monstrous
He's
shot.
got a lot of power. This one does come up short, though. Let's call it 45 feet. Good view of the beautiful hills we have here at Mill Ridge Park.
This one's playing about 50.
And send it in, big fella. Good putt for Jake the Snake.
Colorful scorecard so far for him. Good birdie to catch there. Keep it on hyzer, because if it turns over, you're going to be taking on that OB line.
And
he did take it on, but he threw it far
that's good.
enough.
And that's setting up for the backhand second shot play.
This one's nice. You see how it never gets to flat. He doesn't have to worry about it. Might skip off that drop zone.
Oh, man.
Scoot.
That's about as big of a tee shot as you're going to see from anyone.
Yeah. My caddy Brad says, get on your bike and ride. When they hit that nice angle with the wind.
Yeah. This one might be getting on a two-wheeler.
Decent compared to Simon's, but still very good. Whoa. He took on those branches.
And he did hit it.
Yeah,
and that's going to land right there on the drop zone. So at least you're throwing your second shot, not your third shot from the drop zone.
Kind of a small pet peeve here as he throws this beautiful
it's actually
shot.
looking really nice, isn't it, Paul? Does it get
God,
down the hill?
skip.
Just didn't get the bike.
There used to be a tee pad right there on the drop zone.
And they pulled it up?
I mean, it's not there.
It's just not there. Unless this flattens up a bunch in a hurry, it finds a hole through. Look at that.
Very good. Yeah.
If that's the route he's going for, then that's beautiful. I expect the shot to be higher up the hill, but looks like Owen finds a beautiful gap.
Is this going to be short like Heaves, or does this
this is
forward?
Great. This is moving forward. That almost goes in. That almost goes in for 2. McBeth throws a dart. Perfectly played.
Simon going to go wide again, I think. Especially with how he takes the inside route and
forward skip in the circle.
Good, yeah.
Putting down.
Hits the bark of the tree.
Not much else Jakub can do. Just put the brakes.
Wow. Got a little too much play on that one.
And another nice birdie for Simon. 5 under now for the round. He likes the Music City Open, it appears. You said he is 2 for 2 in his career at this event.
2015 and then
2023, yeah.
And par save. Got away from him down that hill.
Yep. Not the par putt you'd like to have, but he zips it in there, and Paul just has that close little tap-in putt for the birdie. 3 birdies here on 10 is a nice score. Let's check in here with Chris Clemens up on 12. Goes way right, setting up a huge backhand spike hyzer for his second shot. And gets the applause. Let's see how close that ended up. Oh, very close. You mentioned him yesterday as one of those players that's at the top of the list of the players who have been close and just haven't quite captured an Elite Series victory yet.
Yeah, been really consistent over the last few years.
He really
with
has
a lot
been.
of top 10 finishes. He even made a run at the U.S. Championships the year that Conrad won.
He should have won. He took an 8 on hole 17, and even a double bogey, I think, would have done it for him. So I mean, it's just, he has been there many times in the past. One of the most incredible forehands, lefty or righty, but the fact that he's lefty almost looks cooler. He just really gets it out there. On to 11, a hole that I'm sure everyone's going to birdie. It's just a 400-foot hyzer.
Pretty technical shot. You do have to get it flat out wide, and he's going to have to crash right in front. That's not. Stall hyzer is the play here. Throw it as far as you can if you got 550 in power, and then stall it out like this. I think even that might be too far left, though.
No, this is it. This is it.
Oh, that's
just it.
Yeah. It's a stall shot.
You have to have a ton of power, and you have to know how to throw that power at the right angle so that it goes past the basket and it starts moving its way backwards. And it's such an incredibly tricky and precise thing to do with that much power. It's just, Simon just drew it up perfectly.
Like, this one's so low that I don't think it goes over, but it could get through. That could be like a 45-footer.
Yeah. Just got to look for it.
Jakub leaking a little bit right now. He needs to get something going. This would be a nice bonus birdie for him. Get in front of the stuff.
Yeah, into the base of those trees. You got to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Low ceiling, kind of sketchy putt with the ground play looming right behind it. Paul really short here. This is just going to be a layup if he can manage.
He's got to work for it. 29, 30 feet. And Paul's got just a little step out forehand.
Good touch. Curious how stretchy Jakub has to get. Not too, but this is very low ceiling.
Boom.
Give
Boom.
it to him.
What a putt.
If there's anybody who has the putt for it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He can almost stand up in there.
Well, look at how he barely gets it in, and he missed that branch that he had to get under by 3-4 inches. So it's a lot more low ceiling.
And he's got that zippy, flippy putt where he just gets a lot of spin. Yeah, a little nose up, a lot of spin behind it. Really, the low ceiling doesn't affect him the way it affects others. Paul needs this to save the par, and he gets it.
Have I mentioned that he's good at putting?
You did on the front 9, yeah, quite a bit. And it's worth repeating. He's a good putter. It's cool to see.
Yeah, and a very unique style as well.
Paul's tapping out before we get to Simon's drive here on this hole. That's just remarkable. Nearly acing it. We talked about how many birdies we predicted there would be here on hole 11. Now, granted, we did play this hole in a headwind, and it seemed unbirdieable at the time when we practiced on Tuesday. And I think I said something silly in the teens, and there has already been, I think, like 36 something birdies, 32 birdies maybe on the hole. So it's just blowing my prediction out of the water.
I was on 2 hours of sleep, mind you, and delirious. I was so angry.
We have a lot of excuses.
Hole 12, though, is a great hole. It's a par 4 at 630 feet in distance. Big Anheuser flex shot over the trees as far as you can go. It really doesn't matter if you go right or if you go straight. Just don't go left, because that's where the out of bounds is. I don't think these guys should have a problem with that. And then you manufacture your way into the green. You can go hyzer from there, or you can go, hyzer backhand or hyzer sidearm.
I think Simon's play is just get this thing moving right. He's actually going to go for the full flex play. This might be a forehand approach now. I was kind of expecting him to go far right and then go hyzer again, but
I think he didn't mean to do that yesterday. I think he turned it over on accident. Yeah.
I'm with you, though. I think that spectator rope should be the OP line, keeping players down this tight tunnel fairway.
This thing is very overstable. You see how much Anheuser?
I love the height and the commitment to the angle. This is nice. Wow, that thing was so understable. I didn't like it out of his hand, but in the end, the shot shape is true and in the middle.
I think those birds are like, go back to their friends and they're like, dude, I totally saw an alien today.
It flies
Wild.
so fast. It makes no noise. All with the lower line, and this one is driven way outright. Watch out, spectators. And we'll see what he's able to draw up from out there. High grass.
Still going with the sidearm play. Going with the spike. Got to get the distance right.
Yeah, if you come up short, you're in a lot of trouble, but Paul's got a beastie forehand, and look at that play from there.
Oh.
That'll be a tricky putt.
Not much in there, Jerm.
That is a sick shot from back there, though. Just got to move right. Yeah, well done.
Shot, yep. Little 18-footer up the hill.
Well executed for the blind shot.
This is one that I think will get two'd.
Yeah, it's got enough airspace on the high side that you can really imagine a spike hyzer just kind of fun. And I mean, McBeth hit basket in our practice round on his skip shot.
Yeah. Going with the Anheuser play. That's bizarre to me.
Yeah, this one's going too far right. Up the hill. Could be an obstructed putt coming back down.
Kind of a bad break. Usually you see players with that shot catch one of those little stragglers, but he goes right through the gap, and then
He's just been making these like it's nothing. It's just no problem. A little drama because it was a little low, sure, but still. The nose up angle that he putts with allows a lot of those putts that are just skating over the rim to just stay up enough to go in.
So luckily he was on the left side so he could straddle out to the big gap, but there's still a bunch of little limmies.
This could be a confidence booster for McBeth. Yes, pure. One of the best awkward position putters we've really ever seen in the sport.
Yeah.
Cannot tell you how many times I've sat in this booth and commentated over him just making a putt that seemed impossible.
Got away from Jakub there. Omen for another birdie here. Keep pace with McBeth. And
You mentioned something about his
place.
putting a few times.
Yeah, he's not. I didn't expect him to miss that.
I mentioned Jakub's putting. When he's putting well, he's a tough player to beat. Or at least he's going to be in contention. We'll put it that way. He's a great thrower of the disc. And if this shot doesn't set up for one Gannon Burr, I don't know what shot sets up for him. It's a forced Anheuser with an overstable mid-range or a fairway driver. And that's just like Gannon's bread and butter. He's too close to even do his whippy putt. He gets to just place it in the basket. Simon separating himself from the card. But with that birdie, Gannon Burr is within 4 at 15 under par currently.
It's a big lead. For these days, it's a massive lead.
You just don't see it happen. It's just Simon has just been steady as she goes. Bogey free thus far in the tournament. I'm fairly certain of it. And just really making so many long putts. He's making the bonus putts. He's making the ones you got to make. Just a few misses. Really, that's it.
It's going to happen, yeah.
He's just giving himself so many opportunities. That's what you have to do. As we fly over the beautiful, challenging, difficult hole 13. It's a par 4, and it just requires a safe tee shot and a very well executed mid down the fairway on the second.
Simon not wanting anything to do with some ground play, puts it out wide. He's going to have a lengthy shot into that green, though. I would say over 400 feet. Maybe right at 400 feet.
Yeah.
It's going to be close. Right in there. That's it.
Ooh, that is so close to the left side OB line. The angle's not going to be terrific, but he's going to be able to throw a second shot.
Paul just going with the sidearm spike hyzer. This will be in a fine spot.
I wonder if the amount of forehands that McBeth's been throwing is related to the labrum problems that he had in the surgery. If it's just, he was mentioning something about not really enjoying throwing the high arm angles like the Anheuser shots. Oh, this needs to sit down. It does not. Out of bounds shot for Jakub. And I don't really know if that's the case or not, or if he just feels really comfortable with his forehand lately.
In our practice round, he told me that it's the only thing that he's been very confident in this week is the sidearm.
Oh, well, he'd be confident with the approach like this.
And he
If it sits down.
House.
Oh, it checks up just before the OB line. That's actually almost exactly how he played this hole in round one when he got the birdie.
That's just, anything in the circle here is amazing.
Yes. Such a low ceiling, and you're throwing downhill, and it's a tricky shot as Simon, he ends up in mid to deep C2. He'll have a look at it. It's been a scary distance for him for the basket this week. He's been coming close, if not making a ton of putts from that range. Just
almost.
A bit tight. If he beats that last tree, he's nearly home free. Jakub needs a good shot here to save the par, and this looks gorgeous. Just
as good as they make them.
Yeah. I love the idea of throwing the putter hard there. It just doesn't really have a chance to go too far right or skip left. Just really force the issue there with that shot. Jakub throws a beauty.
Down. Little leaky there.
Now Simon, let's call it 55. Asking for it to sit down. If that hits the top, it skips deep.
Paul from circle's edge. Oh,
And
that's good.
That's what we expect to see from him. I think they had that one just outside C1. I think that's his first C2 make of the round. And good cleanup par for Oman, who stays at 14 under. And Simon takes his par. So good birdie for Paul McBeth.
Good hole, really, for the card.
And take a look here at Chris Dickerson.
Let's see if he can stick the landing this time. He does.
Yeah, that's
And a good shot.
going to be 2 under here on hole 14 for Chris. Such an interesting hole. A sub 300-foot hole on the Pro Tour that challenges players in a way that really no other hole on the tour challenges us. You're going to see some people go with overstable putters and fairway drivers and mids and everything. As we head up to the par 5 15th. Gannon Buhr's second shot gets him around the corner safely. That'll set him up for
A little crash shot.
maybe like 360 feet.
Yeah, you got to take on these trees that guard the green, see if you can skip through them. Or right in front of him for a 30-footer, but I'm guessing he's a pretty aggressive player.
Yeah, that's going to set him up with a nice birdie look. Okay, very nice birdie look. This just in, Gannon Buhr's good at disc golf.
It's been in for a long time.
It was in my newspaper 2 years ago. I just haven't gone out and grabbed it, so I just now read the headline, but it turns out it's still true to this day. As we fly over hole 14, and you can see off the tee, it's just an awkward angle with these trees right off the screen to your right there. It really forces you to go down this fairway with something to the left that's moving to the right, and then starts the hyzer before you get to these trees on the right side here. So it's just
It's called a flex shot, Jerm.
it's a full S and inside 300 feet. It's just a shot that you aren't often faced with. You're not
very tight off the tee.
And with the out of bounds on the right side and left side, it comes in as a very tricky hole. That doesn't quite turn it enough.
Down little disc.
Oh, that found that right side OB very quick. Doesn't go OB, but wasn't far off.
Yeah, found it.
It said hi.
Yeah, stayed away. Okay. A lot of work to get out of the gap, but you'll take that on this hole.
I'm just so happy they cut that tree in the middle of the fairway.
Oh, man.
That tree alone is what separated this from being a real weird one to being a great hole.
Go ahead.
That is how this hole was intended to be played. Maybe a little bit too late on the hyzer for the perfect line, but I mean, in the end...
A little high, too. A little high.
Yeah, but the result is the same.
I like the shape for Jakub, but he pulls it a little too hard. I think that's a good kick. Gets all the way out, only has one tree to beat there. That's nice. You're fine with par here.
Sure,
honestly.
yeah. Oh, totally. Bogey creeps up quick.
Any magic in this putter from Paul? Be a nice time to see it.
Made so many of those over his incredible career. Still has so many more to make as well. It's just always in danger.
Just a little too high. If it's a little lower, it might catch. Maybe.
And Paul on the stripe. That birdie ties him up with McBeth at 15. Simon stays at 19 under. Anytime he's really in any danger of making a mistake, he comes up with either a clutch putt, a clutch throw, or something to just feels like he's just on a constant barrage of attacks.
Yeah.
Just endlessly seeking birdie. It's really, when else are you going to see 9-speed fairway drivers thrown on a 297-foot hole?
It's a rarity.
Yeah. Niklas Antala with a 10 under round that get him up the leaderboard as we fly over the par 5, 1,129 foot par 5. Hole 15, you just got to get a good tee shot that finishes slightly left, setting yourself up for really dealer's choice in your second shot, going over the trees, over the creek, into the fairway. And then, unless you really get a hold of your second shot, you're just never going to be able to see the basket on your third.
You're right. I mean, we haven't really talked about the wind. I think it's down a little bit later on in the day, but there is a right to left wind off the tee, which makes the tee shot a little harder than the day before with the opposite wind. So it can drift you over to that left side.
Chris is a little bit left, outside the circle, falling forward. Another nice putt, another nice birdie for Chris, as he also gets to the 15 under mark.
See those flags on the left moving a little. So if you get it too high, it does tend to want to keep pushing that way. He's flattened this out nicely. Just soft, be soft. Very good.
Shot number 1 in position, well executed for Paul. Oman, that is. And McBeth, a little bit more turn, pushing this right side, getting the stability towards the end. A little skip up the hill as well.
Good skip.
It's really all you want to do. You don't need to get a bunch of distance off the tee here. What would you say is the most important shot on this hole?
This next one, I think.
The second shot, I'd agree.
Yeah, because it's the one shot where you can really get into trouble. This one you can play consistent shot out to the right, hug the tree line like these guys are doing, or put a little flex on it.
As you see, Jakub putting it on the right side can be scary if you don't skip away or come way back up the hill. Depending on his angle, he could be trapped behind some low limbs that hang out on that right side corner.
It's just this shot is difficult because as you get it on Anheuser, this disc could do whatever it wants with the wind, right? You see this one flexing out. It's going to challenge.
And there is out of bounds.
And that's why.
And that out of bounds is new this year. And in the last year we played this event, all that area over there was completely safe. Simon, the big hyzer, just to get into position. This shot's really only going to travel, maybe 300 feet, maybe less.
Yeah.
But to get over those trees and back in bounds, that puts him in position.
Paul going to go with the flex shot high. Is this going to hold and flex out? Oh, my goodness.
This is great.
He doesn't have to do that, but he did it.
Yeah, that's a great shot. And difficult to execute. Going that high, you risk fading back left into the danger zone, and putting that much Anheuser on it, you risk doing what Oman did and finding the OB right. But if you get it right, you get the most distance, setting yourself up for the best birdie chance. Now this could be in danger of the hyzer fade into the bad stuff.
Oh, that lucky duck.
That is a very good break.
Yeah.
For Jakub. If that continues to go just another 10 feet into the wood line, he is in a lot of trouble.
And this is 430 in. It's pretty far.
Yeah, it's certainly over 400 feet. And Simon comes up short and left, and I think he's going to be in the wood line.
I like the width. Does he have the distance correct? Ish.
Yeah. He's been making a lot of putts from that range today. He's got that one for a par.
Pretty good. Sit and don't roll. Yeah.
45 footer.
From where his disc was going, that's fantastic. His second shot, that is.
And Paul, pretty short approach here on this 1,100-foot par 5, and he does great things with it.
Matches the hill really well with that angle, and it doesn't shoot into the woods. It's tough to do.
So Jakub first. And it doesn't even need to watch the flight. Just came out of the hand all wrong. Important par save here for Paul. And that one leaks left.
Where's Simon? Oh, there he is. I see a little disc waggling. Not much in there.
collecting honeysuckle in there.
Paul's bogey free. That goes a long ways on a course like this. He's just kind of plugging along. He hasn't looked like he's had his best stuff. This is like the Paul that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, for sure.
Not playing great,
but not playing
third place.
Yes,
and then beast modes.
When Paul's not playing great, that's a really good thing for him. Yeah. It's a bad thing for the field.
Yeah,
he has to be actively playing bad for it to be okay for the rest of the field. But yeah, the reason we're saying that is he just hasn't made all of his putts. But I mean, he's 7 under for the round, 16 under for the event. He's 3 back of the leader.
I mean, he threw a couple of really bad sidearms too early.
That's true, and he got away with them.
Yeah, which is it's rare to see him just throw bad.
And one of the bad forehands he threw, he almost still picked up the birdie back there on 5. As we take a look here at hole 16, par 4, you want to lay as close to these bridges as you want, as you can, to give yourself the shortest approach, but more than likely you're going to be about 50, 60 feet off that creek line. From there, it's most likely going to be a blind approach around the corner, and there is out of bounds left and right.
Where is this ranking on our toughness?
16, it's playing over par.
Wow.
Surprisingly, playing over par. I would not have expected that.
Me neither. Does this go far enough? This looks like it does have the distance correct. And it maybe did.
Eight holes playing at par or harder here in round 2, as opposed to just 5 in round 1, just to kind of put things in perspective as far as course difficulty.
So it's playing tougher.
It's playing considerably tougher. Simon, with the bad angle, just having to put one in C2 and try to make another long putt. The flex forehand was there if he wanted to get aggressive, but doesn't need it right now. Paul, at that height, doesn't really have a chance to get to the pin. In fact, he is out of bounds and around the corner. That's a bad break. A bad shot and a bad result.
Skip. Yep.
Another birdie coming up for Paul McBeth, who has done very well in this back 9 in his first 2 rounds. Shot 7 under in the front 9 in round 1.
Jakub gets it out wide. Does it have the distance?
Beat the corner. Oh, it gets a friendly bounce back from the evergreen. Shoots it back in bounds. What a break. Oh, that would have been
trying to sneak it in there.
That would have been nifty. I have no time to watch that one, says Simon as he picks up his business. And a good birdie delivery for Jakub.
Get in there.
Just like that. McBeth 2 back. And Paul, who's played very clean thus far in the tournament, back-to-back bogeys.
Tough time to do it.
Yep.
These are not the toughest holes on the course. I feel like these are the scoring holes.
And take a look here at Gannon Burr trying to beat Sunset. Cameras are illuminating a little more light than there's actually on the course at the moment. And that is a drive inside the circle into the headwind on hole 18, which was blowing rapidly. And this downhill putt gets him to 11 under for the round.
How'd it go in, I wonder?
Abruptly.
Frozen in the
Yeah.
angle that it went in.
And it's getting chilly.
Yeah.
Some people are saying that the early tee times tomorrow for the FPO are going to be teeing off in 30-something degree weather.
Whoa.
That's true. That's not cool.
Yeah, so these guys want to make sure to get it in. It is the sun's going down. They need to get these in so they don't have to come back tomorrow. So hopefully they're playing with a little pace.
Yes, that's correct, because it is getting dark quick as we take a look here at hole 17, par 5. Really, the second shot needs to be in a certain spot. As long as you're in bounds off the tee, I think you're in play to get in position for your second. And from there, it's somewhere in the 300 to 320 range to the pin. You can see the sun is officially down. Our cameras are working on overtime at the moment. And that is a good shot. That's
fantastic. Yeah, just a little sidearm from there, probably, with how much he's been throwing that.
You just really don't need to throw more than 250 on the next shot, though. That's the thing. Is it cool? You threw a really great shot in the perfect spot, but 100 feet short of it and right, you're essentially both in the same spot.
Mm-hmm. Simon's got some gray in a row. 4 pars in a row.
Yep.
At this point on tour, if you have 4 pars in a row, somebody's gotten 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, you've lost at minimum 2 strokes on one of the closest competitors.
Yep. One of them being Paul McBeth.
This has got to move. I think it's going to be okay. And yes, it's really okay.
Going with the flex plate. Oh, no.
Yeah, and I don't... It's just not necessary to get flexy with it. Just a turnover gets you into position.
Paul is going with the mid-range. Turned it over, slow it down into the nice, soft, perfect spot.
Both of Paul's were essentially in the same spot, the same angle. And McBeth just didn't put much behind that, and he's in the perfect spot to be.
Simon, mid-range as well.
Just kind of turfs it.
That's not a great spot there.
You'd like to get another 70 feet. There's more room than that.
Yeah, he's going to have to go with the spike hyzer, and that's tough to get close. Very good. Gives you your best angle for backhand, sidearm, whatever you want to do.
Oman just having to play into position now and take the par. Oh boy, does he get lucky or no, he does not. I saw that punch through the wood line and
he was going for the pin there.
That seems like a silly thing to do at that height.
I don't think he meant to throw it that low.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Simon spiking it just outside the circle right. And Oman just on a tough stretch right now.
Yes.
But so far, it's just really been putting together a great tournament. Good shot for Jakub to get himself another birdie look, similar to the distance he had in the hole prior.
McBeth doesn't want to deal with those branches on the right, so he's going to throw the sidearm and skip it close to bullseye's edge. Very good. And just textbook execution on all fronts for Paul.
Yeah, over the last 20 minutes. Maybe even more of actual time on the course.
So now Oman has a really tricky shot, and he's got to make that for his 3rd bogey in a row.
Yep.
He was kind of on a roll, playing so smooth.
Yep. Oh.
That That'll just show you any hole out here on the Pro Tour can get you. Simon for another just outside the circle putt. Can he get it?
And high left. Just not taking bogeys, but not cleaning up the way we saw him clean up in round 1. Speaking of cleaning up.
I think we know where that one's going.
Yeah, in the basket, but a turkey of bogeys is not what you want. I'm sure there's a more clever name than that, but I think we got to give a shout out here. One eagle. Who could that possibly be, Paul?
I'm going to guess Anthony Barella because I played with Garrett Gerthy. And I know he didn't get it.
Yeah, you're right. It was Anthony Barella, who was, saw some fans asking, where's Anthony Barella? Well, he fell ill this week, and it was actually pretty awesome that he was even able to compete at all.
Yeah, he was under the weather big time.
Ricky Wysocki never out of it. This putt to get him to 14 under. And let's see what he does here on the headwind. Hole 18 keeps it low. Forces a little flex out of the hand. It's a good line. Skips wide, actually rolls in back door and nearly parks it. What a drive.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Jake Hebenheimer. He birdied this one in round 1.
Dig.
And he's going to birdie it in round 2. Bullseye. What a drive. And our cameras, which, again, they are producing more light than there actually is on the course. And this is chase card. So our lead card is going to have even less light. Jake's trying to find the most dramatic way to tap it in from inside bullseye.
Like, how can you try to find a way to miss a 1 foot putt?
He unfortunately does not miss.
That thing kind of went backwards.
And we've got one final hole to go here.
Yeah, and at one point in this round, Simon had a 4-stroke lead over Gannon.
Yeah.
Now it is 1. Coming into 18. Par 3, 520 feet. You were talking about the headwind, and it's making this play a little bit farther, that's for sure. You want to come in here and just find a way to get through. There is out of bounds left and right, which comes into play today because of that headwind. Usually the right side you don't really have to worry about, but today with a flipped
And look
drive.
at this. Paul is sticking with this forehand play that he was doing in practice, and it's...
Needs to come back.
Needs to come back. That's
Fast.
Right. It does, just barely. You know, and as far as distance goes, I don't know if that's pin high or not, but it's down there.
Yes.
This is coming in as the hardest hole in the course.
Really?
Yes. 0.23 over par. Jakub, good looking line. I think it came up a bit short. A lot to like here with Simon's shot.
It's got to miss that punt. Oh, 1 branch.
Yeah, I mean,
that could have gone in.
That was a beautiful line for Simon. In the end,
45?
I think closer.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's close to the circle's edge, but yeah, it could be 45. You might not be wrong.
Oh man, this is just not going to get there. But easy little layup if he wants it.
And also, these guys aren't going to be playing at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's a small win for everyone.
Let's Paul run this.
It's got a wide open shot at it. It's going to come up short and left.
I worry about that right
Yeah.
there, though.
And once again, Josh kicking the disc, keeping it in play.
Oh, man. Like oopsie, if I put it too hard, I might give it a run, you know?
All right, Simon, downhill. Can he get off the par train?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
deep.
he does.
And that's not circle's edge. That
No,
is
I
deep.
think you're right. I think you called it. I think it's 45 feet. You nailed it. Just like Simon did on his putt.
He just is making those 45 footers look like.
And kids, this is why you
So
go
easy.
outdoor and you go and you practice putting at night. I'm not actually not even kidding. There's something that you learn about your putt when you're practicing at night, and it's not so much visual aided, it's more about the feel of the putt. You already
point.
have an understanding of where the basket is, and if you get your reps in at night, you start to get an understanding of how your body reacts to your putt. Actually, it goes to what you've said in the past. You don't learn how to putt, you learn how to develop a stroke.
Yes.
And then once you learn how to develop your stroke, then you learn how to incorporate that into making the putts. Well, Simon Lizotte, he is going to be your leader going into Championship Sunday. He's under par at 20, 2-shot lead over Gannon Burr and Paul McBeth, Chris Dickerson, 2 back of them at 16 under. And the hot round of the day, tied with Gannon Burr, 11 under. Myself. Yay.
What a fantastic round. Had a putt to go 13.
Had a putt to go 13.
That's impressive.
Had to run it.
Yeah.
3 putted. Didn't have a cameraman to kick my disc down, unfortunately. I rolled down the hill. Only kidding.
Still a fantastic way to get a fire emoji, man. Well done today. Simon Lizotte, like you said, 20 under, and I like seeing Paul McBeth on that card. It's just exciting.
The world does,
It's exciting for everybody. Gannon Burr with a fantastic 11 under par.
And surprise to see Chris Dickerson on lead card final day at an Elite Series tournament in Tennessee.
Yeah.
No, it's not a surprise to anyone. Well, we are 2/3 of the way through the Music City Open. 1 round to go. We'll see what the conditions are like. It's looking like it's going to be a chilly day, but hopefully the scores are hot. Thank you to the Founders Club. We'll see you tomorrow.